Thank you, Toyin. Oh my gosh, it is such an honor and a privilege to be on this platform with all of you, but even more so, the incredible graduates of 2020. I mean, you guys have to applaud yourselves because you are a force to be reckoned with at this time. And you know why? Because no one at any time in the history, right, of pretty much the world, do you all celebrate one common thing, that every graduate of 2020 did it during a time that was filled with so much challenge, so much uncertainty, and it happened worldwide. So for all of you graduates who recently had your hats with a tassel, and you went and took that tassel and moved it over to the other side, crossing over to a new bridge, to a new opportunity in your life worldwide, while other people were undergoing the same thing that you are. How cool is that? And the thing that I want you most to realize about that is the fact that we are a global community, and the fact that we have this incredible technology right now that is allowing us to touch people that are living in Chicago, that are living in New York, that are living in other areas of the United States, and living in Africa, and living in London, and living in Brazil, and just living everywhere. And guess what? We are all amazing children, all at one time, at one point, right? When our parents, or even if they decided to or not to, but we are here and you are here. And I am so honored and privileged to be among such elite and amazing people. Because if you are here with breath in your lungs, you are an amazing person. And you have been given a gift that's been sown in your heart at birth. And it's now time, as you graduate, as you go into this next milestone of life, that you unwrap what that gift is and show it to the world. Because guess what? We are ready to see it. And I don't care if you've just graduated from high school, from kindergarten. We now celebrate preschool graduations here in New York. I don't know about everybody else, but and then college and university. Perhaps you've gotten a doctorate. Perhaps you're taking your education to all new levels. And I hope and pray for you that you will continue to be lifelong learners. Because you've moved your tassel from one side to another side does not mean that you are ever, I see a young man sitting right over there, and I'm so honored to see you, Alicia, and so great to see our youngsters with us, that you are never, ever to stop learning. Always continue to be a sponge. And that's going to tie into a massive piece of something that I want to share with you. And when Toyin and I were talking, and I was like, oh my gosh, Toyin, this is an incredible thing that you whipped together. I mean, talk about a pivot, right? Our graduations were all different. My daughter just graduated from high school 2 days ago, and it was a drive-up graduation. We got out of the car. She walked across the stage. She moved her tassel and hopped back in the car so that we could drive off and continue on with the day. Not what we were expecting, but it was still magical, and it was still beautiful. So each and every one of you have gone through schooling and education, and it is now you have a huge responsibility, and I don't want to scare you in any way, shape, or form, but it's pretty massive, because now you have a tremendous power to be an incredible influence in anything that you do each and every day with the people you might come in contact with, whether you work with them, whether they're in your community, or whether they are friends of yours. And we call that in my world INPact, INPACT, because with this opportunity that you now have to be a drip that rips, not a drop that plops. And with this symbol right here is a major tool. And a lot of people will say, but Janet, it's just a little teeny tiny drip. But think about the power that this drip can make. A drip can have the power to go in, make a drip and create a ripple effect, right? A ripple effect of awesomeness that is now going to continue to link with other ripples of awesomeness. So how do you have a ripple effect of awesomeness? And what does that even mean? What does it mean not to be a drop that plops? I go into schools and I work with with third graders, second graders. I run a summer camp for 14 years, and this is the first year that I will not be operating my camp because of COVID. So talk about pivoting, right? Where I won't have hundreds and hundreds of kids running through my program, but everybody that comes through those doors, or I go into a school and work with, we talk about the power of the drip, the power that you have a choice to make right now at this given opportunity, wherever you are, to either make a positive influence on a person's life or a negative impact on their life. I say, with the responsibility that you have by moving that tassel from one side to the other side, that you have the utmost responsibility to be a drip that rips, not a drop that plops. So I want you right now to give yourself, if you're sitting, or the person next to you, if there's anybody in the room, a massive high five. And I want you to say with me, woo! You can give it, I'll be like, hey, high five to me. And I want everybody to say with me right now, be the drip that rips, not the drop that plops. Be the drip that rips, not the drop that plops. Oh yeah, and I want you to know that that ripple effect will go everywhere. And I want you at any time, when you have that mindset of you, where you're feeling like a plop, you know, like a, right? And that's going to happen because guess what? Life happens. It just does. So how do we make sure that when we wake up in the morning, we're going to be that drip that rips, when perhaps we're thrown a curveball? We've all been thrown it. It's called COVID. It could be you wake up in the morning and you stub your toe, you're running to the bathroom, all of a sudden you realize that you've dropped your mirror on the floor and it shatters, and it creates this ripple effect of just nonsense throughout the whole entire day. You can switch that on a dime. So here's the other tool for your toolbox each and every day that's going to keep your mindset exactly where you need it to be from the minute you wake up in the morning till the minute you go to sleep at night. And that is the power of gratitude. Now you might have said, Janet, when you're talking about a toolbox, I thought you were talking about a hammer, a saw, a balance. But guess what? In that toolbox, the balance that you have with gratitude, the hammer of making sure that you're hammering in gratitude in anything and everything that you do each and every day is powerful. And the fact that you have this tool available to you. So how do you have that? You wake up in the morning, and the minute you open your eyes, you take a breath and you filled your lungs. You say, thank you for the life that I have in my lungs and the air I have in my lungs right now, so I can go out there and make an impact. Remember that you're jumping in to make a positive influence in your day and life. Yes. So what happens throughout the day? Sometimes things will happen, right? Curveball, boom, not what I wanted. Somebody pissed me off. Oh my gosh, it's going to happen, right? How do you switch it? Power gratitude, because you can't be crappy and happy at the same time. So if at any moment in time, something happens that doesn't go the way that you planned, boom, what can I be grateful for at this particular moment? And I'm going to tell you, no matter what is happening in your day, if a tsunami is running through your house, there is something to be grateful for. And all throughout your day, you're going to plant those drips of gratitude wherever you go, because the more gratitude you extend out, the more gratitude is, and things are going to just come to you. And it's the power of gratitude. And there's books all about it. When you go to sleep at night, so all day, you're going to take your steps forward, right? It's called, when we become a graduate, it's because we're taking steps forward, right? We're taking a step. Graduate, it's a Latin word. So what you're doing is now you've been given 2 feet. Well, most of us, right? 2 feet. And the reason why is because as you're moving throughout your day, thank you. Thank you for anything and everything that's coming your way that hasn't even happened, but it's on its way to you, for awesomeness, because that's the energy that you're putting out, because you're choosing to be a drip that rips. And when you go to bed at night, I want you to grab a special book tonight if you don't have one. Each graduate, and if you're only in kindergarten and you're doing this, I want you to just scribble paper, but I want this to become a practice in your family, and that is a gratitude journal, right? Each and every day, you're going to go to bed at night and you're going to write 5 things, like high five, get it? High five, 5 things in your gratitude journal. And what does that do? It sets up your slumber so that all of a sudden you've thought about and run through all the awesomeness and things that happened in your day. And it could be small, little, teeny, itty bitty things to big, grandiose things. It totally doesn't matter. But the fact is that you have thanked God. You've thanked the world. You've thanked whatever has happened for anything and everything that's come to you. And that puts your mindset into a beautiful state to sleep at night, so that when you wake up in the morning, you're not thinking about any drudgery from the day before, because you've wiped it clean and you've got it in your book here. And think about this, moms, dads, guardians, everybody. If you leave this out on your nightstand, like I did, my 18-year-old who just graduated picked this up, and you know what she says? Whoa, Mom, you're so grateful for so many things. So now what happened? I think I want one of those books, Mom. Boom, ripple, beep, 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 beep. So I'm going to end with just letting you know that the power and choice that you have to be a drip is so impactful. And right now, with everything going on in the world, it could be a very scary place for us, our new graduates. Yes, there's uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know if anything is going to happen with the pandemic, if our school's going to open, how we're going to find a job. There's so much swirling around us. So tap into community. We are all here. We have your back, and we want you to soar. But the way to do that is to not take on the whole world at one chunk. Take a little teeny tiny piece. Focus on that little drip. The eyedropper is such an important, because you got to concentrate to only let a drip out, not a whole plop. And that little drip. So concentrate on the eyedropper and just be responsible for the moment that you have right at this time, and the choice that you're going to make right at this time, and the intention that you're going to set right at this time to see what kind of influence you're going to make. And just imagine this, the drip that you put out there, and now your son, your daughter, your husband, your grandparent, who's ever living with you, all of a sudden drip, drip, that creates this beautiful ripple effect of positive energy. Then that's how those ripples will link, connect, grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's how our tsunami of ripples of awesome energy and drips are going to be the things that are going to help the whole world. Imagine if people are dripping in Brazil, people are dripping in Africa, people are dripping in Portugal, people are just drip, 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 and creates this amazing, awesome energy, right? Because when you're a drop that plops, it just lands. It does nothing. So I just want you to know that. I said, make sure that when you see the word drip and you think about that little drip, even if it's a tear that comes down your eye, right? Just know that at that moment, you have a dedicated responsibility to make a positive influence on purpose, because you are here on purpose for a purpose. And it's your job now as graduates of 2020, a focused year, to identify what it is you're here to be on purpose for. But do it with gratitude in your heart, and with a drip that will rip and create amazing, beautiful energy wherever you go moving forward. We got your back. So to the graduates of 2020, congratulations to you. Thank you for so much for this opportunity to chat with you and meet all of you. And I look forward to just listening to every other speaker and being a part of this incredible opportunity. Thank you, Toya, and thank you to all of the other speakers and graduates. God bless you, and just be the drip that rips. Love you guys.